In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Pixlr to create a snowflake that looks something like this one. First of all, open up Pixlr on your computer and create a new document. Go to File, New Image, and title it Snowflake. I'm going to call mine Snowflake 3. And then choose 800 by 600, and then to make it a square, just change the first one to 600 so that they match, and click OK. Alright, the next thing that I'm going to do is open a protractor because we need to make a 30-degree angle. So in the Google Classroom, I did post a protractor for you. So go ahead and click the link, and once you get to the link, right-click and Save Image As, and save it to your Google Drive. Then, once you are in Pixlr, you can go to File, Open, and find the protractor, and click Open. Now, I have to click this little middle button right here so that I can see all of my files. I'll click the background layer and drop it on top of my snowflake. Now I'm just going to close this because I don't need it anymore, and I'm going to expand this so it takes up the whole screen. Now I'm going to make a new layer, and this will be the first segment of my snowflake. So to make the segment, I'm going to take the marquee tool and I'm going to click as close as I can to the 0 and 90 degrees, and it doesn't really matter how much the width is this way. I'm going to stop right about here. Then I'm going to take the paint bucket, and let's see, you can choose a color. Maybe I'll be crazy and make some an orange snowflake this time. That's a pretty color. And click OK. Then with the paint bucket tool, I will click inside of that marquee selection to paint it the color. Now Control D is deselect. Now what I'm going to do is cut this off right across here, but at a 30-degree angle. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is create a new layer, use the marquee tool again to make a long rectangle, and one that's a little bit wider than my original rectangle. This one I'm going to paint black, just to make it easier for me to see. So with the paint bucket tool, I'll click inside of there, and I will push Control D to deselect that. I'm going to temporarily turn off the visibility of my orange segment, so I'll unclick that. Then with the Move tool, I'm going to move this guy over here, and I'm going to rotate this to 30 degrees. So go to Edit, Free Transform, and just hover the cursor around the corner until you get the rotate arrow, and then move it so that you the part of the rectangle intersects the middle point. So you can see I've overshot quite a bit. I'm way past 30, so I'm going to put that back and then line it up again. Okay, that looks pretty darn good right there. Maybe slightly off, but as long as it's almost as close as you can get to 30 degrees, the better. I'm going to say that's pretty good right there. Now I'm going to hit Enter. Now I'm going to use this to cut off part of my orange triangle. So I'll turn my orange triangle visibility back on. I'll get the magic wand tool, click the black to select it, turn it off so I can't see it, make sure that I have my original snowflake segment selected, and then hit delete on the keyboard. So I now have a 30-degree angle. So Control D is deselect. Okay, I had to hit Control D a few times to get it to work. Now I'm going to take the lasso tool, and I'm just really going to make some selections here, and hit delete and really cut out whatever interesting shapes to make this look snowflake-ish. And you want to leave some of the structure of the snowflake, so don't cut too much of it. But they're random, and everybody's snowflake will turn out a little bit differently. All right, so I'm going to say that's good. Control D to deselect. Now, I don't really need my protractor anymore, so I'm just going to turn off the visibility on that. I'm going to take layer 2 and drag it down here to the Make New Layer button, and now I have a copy. I will go to Edit, flip Layer Horizontal, and then use the Move tool and just scoot this guy right over here and line it up as closely as I can. Now I want to merge these two layers, so what I'm going to do is go to Layer, Merge Down. So now that's combined into one piece. Now I will copy that by clicking it and dragging it down to the New Layer button, move it down here to the side, go to Edit, Free Transform, and now I can just eyeball it. I suppose I could use the protractor, but I think it's good enough just to do it by sight. And I just want to match these up so that they're pretty darn close. And I'll hit Enter on the keyboard and then match it up just a little bit more. I think that looks good. All right, so I'm going to merge those two layers together. Layer, merge down, and now I'm going to kind of place it here on the side. Make a copy, click it and drag it to the New Layer button, drag that layer down, Edit, Free Transform, and I will rotate this and eyeball it, move it on up there, hit Enter, make one more copy, drag it over, Edit, Free Transform, and rotate that into place. Let's see here a little bit more. Apply changes, yes. Okay. This guy's a little bit funky. If your angles are off anywhere, it can get a little bit funky by the time it gets to the end. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is merge all three of those together. So, layer, merge down, layer, merge down. Okay, and I will center it. And down here in the Layers panel, I will click the Layer Styles. You can go through these one at a time and choose one that you think looks good. I kind of like the inner shadow, so I'm going to click the words inner shadow to bring up the options here, and it looks a little dark, so I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. Let's see here. Just play around with these options some, and maybe I don't want black. Let's see. Let's just see what maybe yellow looks like, just to kind of experiment with that. Oh, well, that looks really interesting. It's kind of a fiery snowflake, which is a nice contrast. And then I will click OK. So the last thing that I'm going to do is optional. You can leave the background white, but it can look kind of cool if you put a gradient on the background. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So over here in the toolbox is the gradient tool, and you can click here to change the color of it. Let's try a cool, something like this blue here. So that would be contrasting. So I'll just click and drag. Oh, and I do have this set to radial gradient. So let's just try that a few times. And I think that looks pretty cool right there. So I think I will call this finished. So go ahead and save it and place it into your tech portfolio so that it can be graded. That's it for this video.